Why, hello there, Lost Family. I am not going to say the rest of the intro because I don't want to. So, you may have noticed I haven't done a Reddit video in probably a month, I think. I apologize for that. I just haven't really I haven't had the time, unfortunately. But because of that, I think I'm probably going to reduce the amount I do them, because I was doing, I think, like, on average 4 a month. I think I'm gonna try to do 2. Hopefully I can do that. In general, sometimes it's just difficult to get a video out on time because stuff gets busy sometimes, so yeah, I apologize for that, but hopefully I can kind of get back into a routine with everything. So I guess, without further ado, we'll try to get into this Reddit stuff. We are looking at the subreddit Bone Apple Tea, because I thought that would be fun. I think it would be most fun if I had a special chocolate, if you catch my drift. I would probably find them a lot more funny, and it might be more entertaining, but a little too expensive, so yeah, can't do that. Can't do that for this one, but that might be fun. Haven't done that in a long time. And I think I only done it twice when I was younger. Too young. I don't think I was old enough to be doing it. Anyway, let's get into it. Holy mackerel! Sorry for the occupants, but at least it seems like the people in the building weren't affected too much. That one's not maybe the best. It's not the most funny, but I do like that. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to say mackerel. I think like the fish, isn't it? Isn't that the saying, holy mackerel? I think so. I don't know that for sure. You can correct me on that. I've definitely, I feel like I've committed quite a few bone apple teas before. I like that though, holy mackerel. It would be better if it was macros, I think. What do you think? Anyway, we'll move right along. Carnival diet. Carnival diet. I like that. I've been on a carnival diet for 3 months. I like that. What would a carnival diet look like? Yeah, well, I don't understand what that one is they have. I'm guessing that's a dyslexic thing. I'm not even gonna claim I don't understand that one. I fully understand that one. That was just pure dyslexia, I can almost guarantee it. Because, yeah, she has, or he or she has the cholesterol, and I'm pretty sure that's spelled correctly. That's a bigger word, so I'm gonna blame that one on dyslexia. This one is rigid Tony. That sounds so wrong. Rigid Tony. Based on the fact that we're seeing pasta right now, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say rigatoni. I will admit, I don't know how you spell that properly. I would personally look it up before saying that. Rigid Tony. Oh, I'm not gonna say what that conjures to mind because I don't think YouTube would appreciate it. You're gonna have rigid Tony when you get home. A rigid what? I like that. They repeated it too, so confidently. At the point that you get a reaction like that, I feel like you should definitely look it up if you didn't want to at first. That one tickled me. I like that one. Oh, we have another one. Parma John. Now is your chance to get your very own Parma John. Chicken Parma John. Oh, I like that. um, what strikes me as more sad about that, though, I mean, that's pretty sad, just generally. But surely they use Parmesan cheese, so could you not read the bag? Or the bottle? That confuses me extra on that one. I like that, though. Parma John. Maybe that's like if your name is John and you really like Parmesan. Grandma Caesar. Oh my gosh. Okay. Grandma Caesars. 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 I was trying to correct it at first. Oh my, Grandma Caesars. I adopted a puppy. I adopted a puppy mill toy pop. If I could speak, toy puddle. Toy poodle. Right away, she became Velcro. What does that mean? Realized I had swipe threats. Then it turned into heretic seizures. That confuses me too. Seizures. Is that correct? Is the first one correct? I'm gonna have to look that up because how do you write it correctly the first time and then that almost has to be rage bait if you spell it right the first time. Either that or they're completely unsure and instead of looking it up, they're just gonna put it all out there. So maybe they'll get it right once. I don't know. Yeah, they literally they spelled it right the first time and then wrong the second time. Also, how do you get grandma seizures from Grand Mall, but Grandma Caesars? Oh my. Also, what is heretic? Is that accurate? I would lean towards no. And is any of this correct? You can let me know if you know. That Velcro, she became Velcro? What does that even mean? And swipe threats, like, is it like swipe or no swiping? Was she threatening to steal things from? I don't know. Anyway, heretic seizures and Grandma Caesars and two trained herself to do my future dog. What is this person saying? I feel like she's having seizures while writing this out. Maybe that's me. I don't know. To do my future dog, I had her for 14 years and I miss her. Okay, that was a whole experience reading that. Leper's skin bra. Oh, this is a listing too. There's so It's just for lepers, okay? Oh, I like that. That one tickles me probably more than it should. Probably most of these are. I like leper skin bra. I feel like that should just be what we call it from now on. This person says, legit, the most nightmare-inducing one so far. I bet that's going to be on sale for a long time, that's for sure. Riskiest undergarment. Okay, what a horrifying mental image. Sure. Oh my gosh, this is cracking me up more than it should. Maybe I don't need the special chocolate. Coffee, it's almost like that. Sometimes, if I just get enough into me, sometimes it works. Everyone beware the mentioner. That sounds like it's from the Lorax. I don't remember what it was called, but that's what it reminds me of. If you can think of it, that's what it reminds me of. I loved that movie as a kid. I remember when it came out, I got the little seed packet and the DVD. It was so cool. I loved that. Anyway, getting back to the actual Reddit post. Did you all know you're not supposed to store tomatoes and garlic in the refrigerator? That it causes cancer? And the mentioner in older people? The mentioner in... Oh my gosh. That's not even close. I don't know. How do you spell dementia? I know it's not that. That's not even close. Oh my. Maybe that is what it is. That person said it's, speech to text. That's very possible. I know people that use that all the time, and it's very hard to understand what they're trying to say because of that. He lurks. He remembers that thing you said. He says it at the worst possible moment. The mention. I like that. My 10-year-old, of course. Yeah. If you don't mention it, it never happened. The Mentioner sounds like a really lame villain from some 1950s off-brand comic book. Kind of. Mostly, it reminds me of, like, the Lorax thing. Gosh, I can't remember what it was. That's gonna bother me. Tomatoes get all grainy in the fridge now that you mention it. The flavor goes to ish as well. Just like that guy's brain. You didn't have to mention that. Well, that's good to know. I didn't know that they went all grainy and gross in the fridge. I always put my tomatoes in the fridge. So... The mentioner sounds strangely ominous. I agree. My mom got this when she was older. She was constantly just mentioning that I needed a haircut, or that my taste in clothes was not great. She just mentioned to the neighbors that she didn't like their taste in music or their dog. I doubt it had anything to do with garlic, though. Probably not. My ex-husband and his mom have this disease, too. I like it. I like it. I don't regret looking at this subreddit. Doormat. HPV can lay doormat for years. I like that. I can kind of see where you can mix that up a little bit, but no. It can also be transmit. Okay, I guess we probably don't need to read through that whole thing. Holy smokes, 80% of people will end up if that's true, that's kind of crazy. This is kind of ironic. He probably doesn't know the difference between HPV and HSV too. When they've done the doormat thing. I don't know this one. That's out of my range. Not my doormat. I thought it was safe. Mine isn't. Oh yeah. Also lay instead of lie. Okay. Well, let's move on to the next one. Cuddles to his parents. He was raised right. Cuddles to his parents. I skimmed through these a little bit beforehand, and when I read that, I was genuinely so confused for the longest time. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to skim through something like this without just seeing the whole thing. With other things, I can do that, just light skimming and not give away the whole thing to myself, but kind of figure out whether I want to do it or not. A little harder for this. But yeah, I was so confused. It took me forever to realize that he wasn't just genuinely sending cuddles to someone's parents. I don't know exactly how you spell kudos either, but not that. Cuddles. Those chocolate-covered granola bars. I love those. I was thinking of, is that not how you spell cuddles? Cuddling? I don't know. My brain interpreted this as being about dogs, and I was like, yeah, so true. Then I saw the subreddit name. Yep. This one is actually a pretty lovely typo. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Parents need cuddles, too. You know what? Hell yeah, cuddles to them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like it. It's fine. It's one of the better mess ups, I guess. Mock my words. Okay, well get at it. We have to come up with good mockery. Haha, you've been mocked. That was bad. You can mock their words though. You might be better at it than me. Man, the distraction. GTA 6 will be getting pushed back again. Mock my words. Your words are silly. There's my mockery for you. In a bad Irish accent. Oh, me boy. We'll mock them with pleasure. I didn't even hardly. That was terrible. I barely tried. But even if I tried more so, I couldn't. The ironing. The ironing is delicious. Mark too easy. I like that one's bad, but I like it. That's exactly what we shall do. You words are so small and feeble, yeah. And here we are, mocking his words. Indeed we shall. Oh, I so would. It's pretty hard for me to turn off my pedantic side when it comes to language, but that post, I'd go all out asking for it like that. Okay, next one. We're coming close to the end, I think. Cicada rhythm. I like that. It's the rhythm of the cicada. The cicada's noise. You know, it is rhythmic and terrifying from my memory. I haven't heard it in a long time, but I could be thinking. I think I'm thinking of something different. There was something in my house once when I was 10, I believe. It sounded like a banshee. Like, if you ever watched Lord of the Rings, that terrifying bit where they have like a demon thing after them and it's screaming, it sounded like that. It was a bug. It was terrifying. And my mom ended up getting locked in the room with it because my brother and I freaked out. I didn't lock her in there. I promise. I ran. I did abandon her. My brother did too, so I wasn't the only one. He started it probably, maybe. But yeah, we both ran out of there. He ended up apparently, I found this out years later, but he literally locked her in there with it alone. So she couldn't even run from it like us. But then he pushed me aside. We both had the same idea. We were running to the bathroom, and he literally pushed me into a chair. So I ended up running into the kitchen and shutting the door and locking it for some reason. We both locked the doors, which makes no sense. Because obviously this bug is not going to be able to open the door, whether it's locked or not. And I was locked in the room with our mom. On top of that. Oh, but yeah, I don't know if this was before or after this. He ended up coming into the room with the actual, then my mom had to well, I probably can't say that word, an actual, thing that has, bullets. Yeah, that was great. And my mom had to convince, grab it to keep him from trying to get the bug that way. She didn't want holes in the floor. If you're curious, he's a lot older than me, so a lot is an overstatement. That's rude. He's not that much older than me, but I think there's there's 7 years between us, so he was almost an adult. So it wasn't like another 10-year-old doing that, but yeah. Oh, that was fun. And then one got stuck in our fish tank sometime later. That was kind of terrifying too. Anyway, let's get back to the actual post. So, does this have something to do with my cicada rhythm? Cicada rhythm? If you're only sleeping every 17 years, that could be the problem. I mean, when you have insomnia, sometimes it feels that way. Huh? No, I mean cicada rhythm, as in like your sleep rhythm or whatever. Yeah, at that point you should probably consider that maybe you spelled it wrong. Uh, I love the doubling down. This person must be super annoying in the summer. For sure. Circadian rhythm. That actually surprises me, though, that they could spell rhythm. I think they spelled that right, didn't they? Rhythm, but not circadian. Which I feel like from, which this is actually a thing that I think actually we probably need to consider when looking at these types of things. A lot of people were not taught phonics. I found this out recently that they kind of done away with that for a lot of people. So, from my understanding of it at least, if you know phonics, you're kind of better at being able to sound out words and actually be able to spell things fairly accurately most of the time, even if you haven't actually encountered the word before. But it might be harder if you haven't learned phonics. That's kind of what I've heard about it anyway. But that might not be the issue here. I just don't know. But yeah, definitely you should be able to sound that out and know that cicada isn't right. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. A double ganger. The lady on the plane saw something. I remember this whole deal. And later on, they silenced her. They changed her with some kind of double ganger. I like that. It makes me think of like the meal deals at fast food restaurants. Double ganger. I don't know. That's what it conjures in my brain. Because if you check her first video and her interview video, she looks absolutely different. Did you have much of an opinion on that when that was going on? I didn't really. I didn't have a very I don't know. I can't think of the word, so that's ironic considering what we're doing today. I didn't really have much of an opinion on it. It was funny anyway, some of the stuff going on about that. Especially, I seen a meme that was like, that Facebook guy, Zuckerberg, just looking kind of suspicious when she was talking about him not being human or whatever.
This better be good.
Oh, that one was funny. Doppelganger.
Well.
I mean, doppel means double, so it's not exactly invalid. More of a partial translation and common enough to make into the dictionary, and then, okay, whatever. Yeah, that one's probably fine, but ganger is, it doesn't quite work if you're, like, doing the German and English thing. What does it translate to, anyway? That's a good... What does the ganger? That's what I thought of, too, besides the meal deal thing. Two gangs. I'm surprised. This person is asking the context of this. I'm surprised they don't remember. They must not have been on the internet much at that time. Okay, doppelganger is double walker. So, if she had just said walker instead of ganger, that would have worked. Okay, anyway. Let's move on to I think it's the last one then, yep. Doesn't make sense, does it? Sorry, bud, but my point still stands. It doesn't make sense to combine with someone who's further away than others. What is this? Especially for an emergency. I don't know what this is referring to. But top fan, is that an OF thing? I don't know. I don't understand the context of that, but yeah, since that's a little bit funny. It's not big funny. Mostly I wanted to, if I can figure out, I'll be putting a little bit of a sound bite from a movie that I watched as a kid. just because. It's not like particularly funny. I just wanted to. So okay. Well, I guess that is the end of our video. I'll see you for the next one, hopefully. Bye-bye.